Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. So welcome to the channel, guys. This is the first time I'm covering Hunter x Hunter and I'm pretty excited. It's one of my favorite shows and I'm glad it's back. Without further ado, let's get right into it because the first chapter was crazy and we got many things to talk about and analyze. Before we move on to the first page, let's remind ourselves that in the last chapter before HxH, we were surprised with a very small time skip into the future where Benjamin has been poisoned. He has declared the famous martial law and he's out for blood against every prince. The first thing many of us thought when we heard Hunter x Hunter is coming back is that we're going to get a flashback that leads to the current situation, and this is exactly what we get this chapter. So on the first page, the first thing we see is 9th Prince Halkenberg as Balsamico having a conversation with Benjamin just before the enforcement of martial law. It gives us the timeline and confirms that we're in a flashback. So in the second page we can see Melody's gang that includes Kacho and the ever nonchalant Kaiser, and while Kacho is ensuring them that Princess Fugetsu is asleep, just in the next panel we see the top of your head. I don't know why we see the top of your head, but we just see it. You can recognize it from the stinky aura, and she looks like she's not sleeping at all. Rather, she's using her ability, Magical Worm, as we can deduce from the door with the number 302 on top. Now, she's definitely going somewhere. But where? Well, we don't know yet, but if I had to guess, we will find out soon enough, and it will probably be a bad trip. So then we move on to one of the funniest, classic and beautiful pages we have seen for a while. We see the Captain Guard of 2nd Princess Camilla, Sarahel, as she's going through her transformation from a very angry soldier to an innocent maid. I swear, man, Togashi surely has some kinks. Like, what's up with all the transformations? First it was Illumi, then Hisoka, then Bonolenov, and then this. The man is addicted. And he offers us a full page of this magnificent transformation, which actually sets the tone for the character perfectly. I don't know, for me it increased her danger level by a great margin. She seems crazy. So in the next page, we actually see Sarahel, and she's talking with an old lady. The old lady is impressed by her transformation and compliments her, but Sarahel is making a correction and reminds her that this appearance is actually her original one. Then the old lady makes some interesting remarks about how Sarahel has lost the meaning of the word original after the many transformations she has taken. Sarahel will be on the training room with Kurapika, and she makes a comment about the need to expose the identity of the Nen exorcist of Kurapika's crew, and that she needs to find him in order to get rid of him, so that her plan to take out Prince Wobble can be put into action. That makes us think that she has a Hatsu that acts like a curse, that kills the host if not exorcised. But please, don't forget to pay attention to this panel. Just look at her eyes. She wears the Illumi eyes while she says that even if the plan of the curse fail, she will slit the throat of her target without a second thought. And while she says all that, she looks like a machine, like a cog, an object. I don't know, she looks emotionless. Like the fear this character made me feel in these chapters, the adrenaline rush, already makes her a favorite villain, a classic for me. So let's go on page number 5. We finally arrive on Prince Wobble's room where the training of Kurapika will take place. We can show the guards and the maids grouped up, looking all serious, apart from Sarahel, who is wearing a creepy smile while keeping her sight locked in Prince Wobble. The funniest part about this panel is how Kurapika's colleagues try very hard to look seriously dramatic, strong and confident, while Kurapika is just chilling in the middle. Yeah, you know, my man owns the room, man, with his aura. You can see it in how calm he is. He's working with that Todo 500,000 IQ and the prime Magnus Carlsen moves. He looks like he owns the place with all that riz. Also, the outfits are fire. So next page, the first double spread, I don't know, man, it just hit me right in the feels. After such a long time, Hunter x Hunter is back and our boy Kurapika is looking like the man. So he's actually explaining that he's going to divide the training session into different classes. The first class will be the introductory one, where participants will learn HxH and more advanced Nen. And he also accepts more participants now from his allied princes in this classroom in order to further strengthen the low class princes against the dominant high class princes. Then there will be the beginner class, where students will learn how to master the 4 basic principles within a month. Furikon, who has shown extreme levels of thought capability, is making some assumption based on the fast pace of the beginner class. First, he thinks that Kurapika has a special attack that will help others get better with Nen, and he's right on point, as Kurapika will rely on Dolphin for that one. And he also completely figures out Kurapika's motive to strengthen the other princes in order to complicate and stall the succession war. I swear, this guy is on another level, and actually many of the guards for that matter. For many chapters I was underestimating them. When I used to think about the succession war, I always thought about the princes, the mafia, Morena, Kurapika. But then, when you realize that all these bodyguards, they have been the main catalysts of this war up until now, and it is safe to assume that many of them will have leading roles in the future. In the next page we'll see Bellerente, and man, I love this guy. He's so chill. People in this room have already experienced a handful of murders in front of them, and he's calm, collected. And he reassures his colleague. He's like, nah man, you'll be fine, don't worry about it, you're not gonna die. And then we see the lead guard of Prince Lazarus making remarks about how important Nen is and how it will help them tremendously in their position after the war, while he also gets suspicious about the character of Sarahel, which is very interesting. Let's see how that plays out, because I think she noticed them. Then we see Tenftori, a guard of the third prince who doesn't want to recruit any more colleagues, as he wants to be the special one and rise through the rankings. Even if that goes against the interest of the third prince, that's his desire. In addition, we also see the lead guard of the fifth princess to Beppa, Maor, who is striving to learn faster Nen and further develop their alliance with Kurapika in order to keep his princess safe. He's such a loyal one, and you can see it in his face. Then we get another bodyguard in the spotlight, Gato. He's serving Prince Lazarus, and while Satobi urges him to remain calm and follow orders, Gato smells opportunity on the defenseless Prince Wobble. Man, he has no idea, man. He has no idea. So for the next page, we dive into the depths of the mastermind himself, Kurapika. Apparently he doesn't buy that the death of Halkenborg came through an illness, and he bets on an assassination. He wants to use his death to raise awareness of the dangers of succession war among the lower class princes in order to achieve his so desired defense information. He also seems to recognize Hulk as a helpful factor so far, as he kept things more complicated for the elder princes while providing safety to the younger one, and him expressing his thoughts like that makes me feel like I want to see an encounter between them very badly. So in the next 2 pages we focus on Slaka, a guard of the third prince, who acts as a spy for the second queen. Apparently, he wants to take part in the introductory class because he feels that in this way he will be more influential in the succession war. And finally, we are getting to the main dish of the chapter, and Kurapika is about to cook some sashimi. First, he announces that he will reveal what exactly is the crucial information on how Nen influences the succession war, and why it holds that much importance. Everyone looks hooked by his words, and his colleagues try to stop him. They don't want him to reveal the plan. He's like, everybody calm down, I got it. So he raises a question. Why the succession war is happening right now, and why it involves such an insane situation of 14 siblings fighting each other so the sole survivor can become the one and only ruler. Just why? Why go that far? Then as we observe King Nasubi towering over Kaking, Kurapika explains to the guards the concept of vows and restrictions, and how Kakin Empire has used this phenomenon in order to create a strong leader and a prosperous empire. Vows mean resolve and commitment, and restrictions involve risk. When these are implemented in Nen, it increases its power exponentially. The ritual of the succession war involves both risk and resolve, as the lives of a bloodline are being sacrificed with danger of clan extinction. Kurapika then mentions that Kakin Empire follows the concept Matsurigoto. In ancient Japan, political leadership and religious authority were closely intertwined, so the ruler's duties included both performing rituals to honor the gods and governing the people. So Kakin, firstly, they pray by establishing a vow. Secondly, they are offering the blood of their relatives as a proof of their resolve. Then, they gather those who died to form an aura field. And lastly, they govern with the immense power given by God, or Nen in this case, and my guy Kurapika has figured out everything. My guy Kurapika has it all mapped out for us. He even knows about the secret room of Nasubi. Like, how many moves ahead is he? This is insane. This is insane. I'm not a Kurapika stan, but what the fuck is going on in this chapter? And now, to the most important part. The restrictions. The conditions that must be met in order for the succession war to achieve its goal. According to Kurapika, the first limitation is a time restriction. Since the crowning ceremony is scheduled immediately after landing to the Dark Continent, it is clear that this works as a deadline for the succession war. If this deadline arrives and the war has not concluded, the Hui Guoru family will fall from grace. Everyone looks absolutely shocked. I don't really think anyone imagined an outcome like this. For them, it's disastrous. The lead guard of Tubepa asks a very logical question. Why just fall from grace? Why wouldn't they all die or cease to exist if they are already risking their lives? But Kurapika has the answer for this one also, and it's hiding in prince dynamics. Why does the time limit exist in the first place? Because if it didn't exist, the high-class princes would have an absolute advantage over the younger ones and the handicapped ones. The ritual has to be just, or else it wouldn't provide absolute power to the winner. It has to be righteous. And for the ritual to be righteous, the younger ones and the more vulnerable princes must have a way out. And this is their way out. The deadline is their hope. Furikov is surprised. Why is Kurapika giving all this info? He's basically letting them know they're at a time limit, and before they can begin to process this information, he drops the bomb of all bombs. His eyes are changing color. We know that when that happens in Hunter x Hunter, someone is in the zone. And then he says, Prince Wobble is not qualified for the succession war. Even his colleagues are in shambles. Look at this. But how is he going to support this claim? Is he going to say that Wobble is beyond Son and not Nasubi's? Will he claim that it is because his guardian spirit has not yet taken form, it hasn't manifested? Is it both of them? I don't know. I don't know how he will support it. Lastly, we see Queen Oito on an infant stance, being super focused. Did she confess something to Kurapika? And what does the future hold? I mean, I don't know. This is a crazy chapter. But this was it for the video, guys. It went longer than I expected. It's very hard to do reviews on Hunter x Hunter chapters after all. So thank you a lot, guys, for watching the video, and peace out. Stay safe.